Worldwide parent coach and conscious educator Sue DeCaro is on a mission to revitalize the joy in parenting. Welcome to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids, a podcast designed to help parents all over the world create deeper connections with themselves and their children while overcoming life's daily parenting challenges. Listen in if you want to bring more laughter, love, and enjoyment to your home life.
Welcome to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids, a place for all things parenting. I am your host, Sue DeCaro. In today's episode, I want to talk about raising respectful listeners. Listening is a skill we sometimes think our children lack. Parents all over the world come to me and state that one of their challenges is that their kids don't listen. We talk about how common of a challenge this truly is. We all want to feel like we are in good company when it comes to parenting challenges. It is not just us, right? Listening is such a beautiful opportunity for connection on so many levels. When we feel our children are not listening to us, it bothers us because we are losing out on the opportunity for connection. For example, perhaps you call your kids from the kitchen to the family room to tell your children that dinner is ready, and you scream, "Kids, dinner's ready," and no one responds or comes to the table to sit down and eat. Has that ever happened to you? Perhaps your kids are getting ready for school and they are upstairs and you yell, "Let's go, the bus will be here in 5 minutes." And yet, no one comes racing down the stairs like you had hoped or imagined. Maybe your kids don't pick up their belongings, their socks, their book bags, clothes, dishes in their room, etc. And you have asked numerous times, and you feel like it keeps landing on deaf ears. These situations can make us feel like our children do not listen to us or respect us when we communicate. This can be infuriating and cause lots of friction in our home, contributing to our own stress level. We can become fueled or angered by what we perceive as a lack of respect or commitment. Right? I would love to offer you a new perspective. Let's think about this. What if your kids are not doing this on purpose? What if your kids have full intentions to listen and respect you? I imagine they do. I believe that every child wants to do what is right, but when they don't, something is preventing them from doing so. So in the case of communication and listening skills, let's look at what might be preventing them from paying attention or actually hearing you. Your child perhaps might be preoccupied and not hear you at all. Their attention is perhaps on something that is all-encompassing. Perhaps they do not have the best hearing. We, the parent, are not communicating in a method that works for our child. Or perhaps there is something that is preventing our child from listening or hearing that goes beyond the things I just mentioned. Perhaps they might not have a good listener modeling for them. No offense. So, some suggestions of things to try. When you speak to your child, instead of yelling from a different room or across the room, go directly to your child. Get at eye level and wait to receive their attention or even ask for it. Then, share what you want to communicate. This way, you are actually speaking with a child who is attentive in front of you and perhaps not distracted. You have received their attention before you begin. A very important part of the process. Another great method to raise respectful listeners is to ask your children or your child to help you. So if the morning time is stressful for you, instead of you yelling that the bus will be arriving, ask your kids how you can help them make the bus on time. This is, in fact, about them, right? It's their bus, they're going to school, and they're the ones that need to make it on time. But we tend to own that, don't we? So when we empower our children to be part of the solution, it can create an enormous shift. See what they come up with. What do they need from you, and what do they need from themselves in order to be on time, to make that bus and be ready? The same holds true with children who leave their belongings throughout the house, right? We want to empower them to pick up after themselves instead of us becoming the nagging mom or the nagging dad, asking them to do so. So entering into a conversation with kids about how you feel. You feel like maybe you are nagging them and you don't feel heard and you just want them to pick up their belongings. And yet this is an ineffective way for you to ask. This, again, can offer another shift because what you're doing is you're sharing with your children that there's a situation. The situation is that their belongings are all over the house, and you're not sure how to solve this situation, and you need their help. What do they think would work best? Because what's happening now is not working for you, nor is it working for them. So see what they come up with. You're empowering them to be part of a solution, not the problem. The situation that is there, the belongings all over the house, is the situation that is causing the problem. It's amazing what children come up with. They are brilliant. So let's empower them to be part of this conversation. These challenges that we experience in our homes, like the ones I just shared, can really be opportunities. When we find ourselves getting annoyed that they aren't listening or doing the things that they should be doing, and we are constantly reminding them, then it is time for perhaps a family meeting of sorts. This is a time to bring the family together for a solution-based conversation, an opportunity for empowerment. It is not a complaint session, but truly an opportunity for our children to hear what we feel are some of the things we need help solving. Then, after you stated what the issue is, ask for their help and give them the space to offer some of their ideas and suggestions for moving forward in a different way. What a great opportunity for a shift. Parenting is about the parent. If there is something that we are not achieving in the raising of our children, it is important that we look at how we are approaching it, who our children are, and what works best for them. How do you listen to your children? What does that look like for you? Are you attentive, present, and fully focused on what they're sharing with you? Do you follow through on their requests? Is there a possibility that you might be able to be an even better model or listener for your kids to see and experience for their own growth and benefit? Are you a respectful listener? Sometimes we have to look within as we look outside of us to see how do we show up. So I encourage you to spend a little time reflecting on how you model this for your kids. Perhaps you could tweak a few things that you do to offer the very best of you to them. Kids are brilliant. When we include them in the conversation in a positive way and talk through the challenges, we will gain new ideas and learn different ways to move forward from them, empowering our children in the process. And moving forward is an ongoing process. It's not just one and done. As things change or challenges reappear, then you need to revisit the methods to move forward. This method of empowering and empowerment is one to revisit over and over and over again. And just a reminder, the best way to raise respectful listeners is to be a respectful listener. Work together with your family to identify areas for improvement for all of you. It is likely that both the parents and children have areas that they could focus on more. I challenge you to identify these and engage the whole family in being part of the solution. With a little effort, we can all raise and become respectful listeners. Thank you for joining me. Remember, every moment is a new moment for conscious connections.
Thanks for listening to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend. And be sure to give us some stars and a favorable review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in.